Waseem, it's my pleasure to have you here on CIFF Media. And you haven't been a stranger to trade shows, and I've obviously bumped into you multiple times, also here at the CIFF. So you definitely have a track record of multiple stops within the industry. So tell us something more about it and how you came up onto what you do now.
Well, I started as a 18-year-old in a warehouse for Converse and built my way up. Luckily, I went through Converse, Adidas, and then I met my partner today, Morten Vernon, a business partner, and through that, we built the Vernon Sport, which also led us to showing at all the trade shows. And I have to say that it's been a long journey. I still talk about when I meet the new guys in the company and they come at CIFF and they see our amazing booth. I'm telling the story that I actually started at Øksnehallen in a small place outside the hall, and I had 0 customers the first season I was there. Literally 0.
How many customers are we now at?
Oh, yeah, it's another story. So I've been all the way. This was back in 2001, and then since then I've been, at the trade shows.
Wow. So now, under the roof of your company, there's multiple brands which you represent and bring onto various trade shows.
Yes.
We're very happy that we're going to be seeing a lot of your presence actually here at the Copenhagen show again in January. How many brands are you going to bring to Copenhagen in January? And how many highlights can we expect from you?
Oh, I would say actually we are going a little bit the other opposite way. Normally we, if you go 5 years back, we used to have 15 brands. And we actually been cutting down the brands, but increasing our turnover. So this time we are bringing 5 brands to CIFF, but 5 big brands because we cover the whole Scandinavia. So our biggest brand today is Blundstone, for sure. That's gonna be here. The Keen is our second biggest brand. Still really on a fire around the world. GH Bass, which is another history loafer brand. And then we are bringing, of course, the Kangol. And then we are bringing in Kawasaki as the new one. That's the surprise.
Wow. Yeah. Before we move over to asking you a lot of questions about the Kawasaki, I'm very excited to hear your opinion on this. You mentioned that over the last couple of years, you have somehow changed your strategy onto bringing less brands and actually focusing onto a bigger exposure of all of them. Do you sense that the market is giving you that feedback, or was it a decision taken by yourself to shrink the exposure of some of the brands?
I think it's a combination of everything. We've been sitting together, and especially my partner, Morten, who is also the CEO, looking into, we've been doing maybe everything 50-60% with the brands because you have so many brands. You can't put 100% effort into all the brands. And we realized that there are some of the brands where when you get older, you really put a value into people, and working with them for so many years, you need to have honest people around you. You need to have professional people around you, and you need to have people who understand your market, because you can have brands in Italy, in France, in the US, who never been to Scandinavia, but they're pushing you. They don't understand the business. They don't know anything about the market. And what we did was like, okay, we just took the decision that if the brands can follow our demands and understand what we want to do, we have to cut them and then put the effort into the brands who believes in us, and most of all are honest. Yeah, and that's is 2 of the brands we have there is Blundstone and Keen. They trust us. They believe in us. We are we are involved with them on developments, on marketing. They invest in us. They're not just we're just not a distributor, a partner, and they don't care about it. It's really a partnership.
You said that honesty and trust are incredible assets in your daily business and help you, but also your brand partners, not just have a better relationship, but also get more exposure and in the end, also higher revenues. How do you believe this is changing over time? Do you think that now the business is strictly business and keeps on growing on importance? Or do you believe that having the right values is also being appreciated as much, equally more?
Today, where we have the chat, we have internet, web shops, it's really difficult to say something and not have back it up, because they will check the factor. The numbers are not lying. You see the sell through. So I won't go all the way that it's strictly business, because relationship still means a lot in our industry. But of course, that combined together gets also the honest thing around the whole the selling tools. I would say you can't just be friends with them, and you can't just be professionals with them, because you need to have that mix and trust.
You mentioned that the mix of trust and honestly and relying on each other brought you ahead in your business for quite some time. And you mentioned that right now you have been able to win another very exciting partner to collaborate with you. It's Kawasaki.
Yes.
Tell us something more about this and what is going on to happen with you and Kawasaki here onto the CIFF floor.
We've been looking at Kawasaki for the last, now I say 5-7 years. It was unfortunately the guy who owned it, he passed away, and we had a conversation with him before he passed away. He wanted to sell it. We gave an offer, but at that time, Sports Group Denmark gave an offer, and their offer was much higher than ours. So they got it. But at least Sports Connection, they knew that we had the interest in the brand. And then we met at the last CIFF. They came over. Jen from Sports Group Denmark, he came over, and he knew that I was looking for a canvas brand, because on LinkedIn I was actually reaching out to some few canvas brands, and because I was not friends with them, I was writing in their captions.
Yeah.
And he noticed that, and then he came in and said, "Waseem, I know you're looking for a canvas brand. Yeah, listen, can you help us bring Kawasaki back?" And I didn't doubt about it. I was like, okay, these are our colleagues. They work with big brands. They are coming and asking us for our help.
Right.
And the more we thought about it, me and Morten, we were like, okay, listen, this is a quite a strong partnership, because we know we are a good distributor. We can sell the goods. We can do the PR, the marketing, the collaboration, but we don't know anything about production. But these guys, they know everything about the production. So that was like, okay, if we could make this happen, it could be something new.
So in this collaboration, you're not just sharing your creative values, but also the expertise in your own networks and in your own core competencies and fields. How did it come to this? How was the creative direction process? Because you've seen that a lot of collaborations have been brought to the market and didn't necessarily bring a lot of excitement or much newness.
No.
How is the collaboration with you and Kawasaki now going to be different?
I think we are very known for collaborations. First of all, Vernon, with the brands we have done. Honestly, I don't think I know any other company who have been involved in that many collaboration as a distributor. But when we bring brands together, the values of both brand has to match. I often see some collaborations where I'm looking at it like, where is the connection? I know you're probably gonna ask me about the Keen and Skal collab, right?
Here we go.
Yeah, exactly. And when you take these two brands, there is so much in common in these two brands. The honesty behind the brands, the quality, the craftsmanship, the sustainability. So for us, it was the perfect match. And I would say around the world, the wave that collaboration made for Keen, for us, I can speak on the behalf of Scalp, but for us, it's been tremendous. Everybody's talking about it.
Definitely.
And that's one of the big ones we have done. But we have been involved in collaboration with Ellis, with Blundstone, with a lot with Keen. Now we're going to bring one with Henrik Vipskov for the
wow.
spring summer.
Very excited to see
That's
that.
also very interesting. We have done with we used to have Scholl, we used to have moon boots. So always been there. So when the Kawasaki came, I have to say I'm still
It was a little bit hesitant.
yeah. But I have some ideas, and one of them, and I'm actually having the meeting on Monday, and people, when I mention it, people are like, "What? Do you see that as a good collaboration?" And it's a Danish brand called Sunlolly.
Yeah.
Sunlolly is a ice cream, triangle ice cream you can buy in the supermarket. It's like in all the supermarkets in the front, when you walk in, it's there in all kind of colors.
It's a commodity, so each and everyone has more or less grown up with exactly that product. So
Exactly.
the visibility and knowledge and recognition is massive.
Massive. And that colorways, it's a Danish product. Everybody know it because we have had it since I was a child. It's the same story with Kawasaki.
Wow.
Everybody used to have a pair of Kawasaki, 36 colorways. So if we can get these to match, I'm pretty sure it could be a pretty cool collaboration.
Well, definitely.
Yeah.
We spoke a lot about authenticity. Honestly, these two assets definitely merge well into that. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see if this one's
I hope so.
happening.
I actually
Fingers crossed.
I also reached out to M&M's. I think that could have been all those colorways. But I think this one where Kawasaki is a Danish brand
Yeah.
from the 60s. You know, I can tell you in 2006, 7, and 8, they sold 600,000 pairs a year in Denmark. In Denmark alone. So you can imagine 1.8 million pairs in 3 years in Denmark alone.
Wow.
I don't know any other brands who have done that.
And do you believe that a lot of the younger clients who did not necessarily have a touch point directly with Kawasaki through growing up and growing into being own consumers to take own purchasing decisions, do you think that they somehow had touch points with the brand through their parents, through their grandparents? Has it been present in the current consumers' minds?
No. I think that's something we have to build. The people who are 35 plus, that's the ones who remember the brand, who used to wear it. But that's very often when we pick up the old brand, that's what we do. We find old heritage brands and bring them to Scandinavia and to the market. And every time it's people who are older who knows the brand. And then it's our job to make sure through marketing, PR collaborations, that the younger crowd and also the older crowds think it's a cool product. But I would say Kawasaki compared to the other brands I have is different. Kawasaki is for sure a trend. You know, it's going to be a trend. It's canvas is back, low profile is back. It's 36 colorways. Where when I speak about Blundstone, Keen, and GH Bass, that's handcrafted, and it's a total different story. It's not a trend. It's something you buy because it's personally you feel better. Wear a pair of a Blundstone and Keen or GH Bass. You're putting in a story. Yeah, and you will do that with Kawasaki as well. But it's going to be a trend.
Through a lot of the collaborations so far, you have always been proving that you and your team definitely have the right hand and the right feel for the zeitgeist and how to interpret heritage into a very contemporary and cutting edge modernity. When is it in time when you know that a certain collaboration you're working on is going to go through the roof?
We never know. But of course, I have worked with some brands where we are not allowed to show the collab before it comes out. And I would say we did, Keen did one with Comme des Garçons sub-brand, and we were not managing that. And actually nobody knew about it on our market about this collaboration. And I think it's important that you somehow have the partner on the market to be involved in it, because we take care more about the brand and we know how to do it on our market. And when we often at CIFF, we always have it in the back. We start talking a little bit about it. We can see people are start coming to us and say, hey, we heard about this collaboration. Can we see? And of course, we do it at very limited, and we can quickly find out how many pairs are gonna be sold. But but again, we did a tonic and a Baumann Fairgarden. It was a big success. We did it twice now, and Scale, we did it 3 times. It's been a huge success. So we never know actually, but we have a feeling, and I would say it's the team behind. Maybe I have the idea, but somebody has to take them and make it happen. And the team I have, that's what they do. They pick up and they know what I'm thinking, and the process behind it is. It's a much bigger rollout than people think of. I can say whatever, somebody has to do it. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So it is great to have a great team behind you. But when we talk about building sustainable relationships and partnership, not only through the brands you work with, but also with the platforms you collaborate with, as it is with CIFF at the moment, you've been coming to the CIFF for quite a while. How do you value the importance of still being present at major platforms where the whole world gathers, and how much of exposure do they bring to you on the one side, on the brands on the other side, and in addition, how much conversion into sales and orders?
For us, we will always support these trade shows. We are a distributor, and we think that what these trade shows do for the Scandinavian market, and especially CIFF, is a game changer. Without that, Copenhagen wouldn't be, or Nordic wouldn't be where it is today. We think CIFF is the heart of the fashion week. I know that I am having arguments with other people, other brands who are thinking that it's the show calendar who runs the fashion week. For me, I think it starts with CIFF, and from there. So we will always support the trade shows, and I think the CIFF understands how I work, and they understand what I need to make it easy for me to come here. I know that I've been saying sometimes I think CIFF is a little bit late. That's what it is, but we will always come because it's important for us to show our brand portfolio, and we get a lot of customers here still. There are so many new clients coming, small cities, or it could be a brand like Kawasaki. Suddenly, but people see, oh, they haven't been reading the news or whatever. They see it here, and also from other countries when they come. We make CIFF as a showroom instead of a sales guy coming in a small shop with a bag. They don't get that same experience as when they come at CIFF and they see these amazing walls and the collection and everything. And that I have to give CIFF credit for that. They help us make it easy.
I think that's incredible that you also value the massive impact, the innovation that CIFF always brought onto the business is delivering also to your business and also to the final consumers who basically come and order from your stand at the CIFF into their stores. But you've been mentioning that over the years, you have definitely established an incredible network of partners throughout CIFF and throughout definitely other platforms, I believe. But how do you believe the very certain credo of working here in Scandinavia made the Scandinavian market a very interesting sourcing market for so many international buyers to come and look for local brands, collaboration brands, which have developed over here in the Scandinavian territories?
I can't remember any other trade shows. I've been at all the trade shows in the world. I had never been on a trade show where I can stand at CIFF and I have a tier 0 account. It can be Storm, It can be KO in Stockholm. It can be Trabien. And then the next one is an outdoor customer coming from the tour company, the Phoenix Group. And then the third customer is a brown shoe customer from, you have that mix from all the levels. Now, if I tier our customers up from tier 0 to tier 5, they are all here. And I don't see that anywhere. So that means for other people to come here, they can find all the levels. They don't have to spend, now I say, 2 weeks to drive around Copenhagen to find out where are the showrooms, who do I have to visit, and they can't enter, they don't have an appointment. Where CIFF is an open place. You come here, I don't even know how many people you have here, of how many brands you have, but they got plenty of work just being here. Yeah.
You mentioned that it's very important for end consumers and also for buyers who come and shop for their retailers to be served in different categories, in different segments, how they have built up their retail architecture or their pricing architecture and their portfolio. Is this an important sourcing factor for you when you are looking for new brands to acquire? Do you always try to replicate the expectation of your buyers whenever it comes to brands in different segments which you represent?
Yeah, it's very important for us. We always look for brand. We have tried to go with mainstream brands where we're like, okay, let's just start with tier 3 and we go massive out. We never succeeded with that in our company. So what we do is we always go with brands where we see there's a potential to start up in the tier 0 and 1, and then it has to come down. But there has to be a business for each of the segments and each of the tiers. If we only stay in the tier 0 and 1, it's a very tiny business for us at the size of a company we are. So we can't only be there. We need to think about, okay, where are we in 3 years? Where are we in 5 years with the brands? Blundstone, Keen, and now Kawasaki. That we can have different segmentations in different tiering.
Yeah.
So
where is the sweet spot when it comes to commerciality and when it comes to you obviously willing to push into more retailers? Are we talking tier 1, tier 2, tier 3? Where would you say is your largest revenue focus?
Definitely, we moved a lot from the tier 1, 2, and we are massive in the outdoor business, in the agriculture. People don't know that. They think that we are still a fashion company where we used to be 10 years ago. That was our most of our customers. But since we got Keen and Blundstone, which is very outdoor driven, Berghaus. I forgot
Boom.
Berghaus. Yeah, that's also yeah, definitely. So we have moved a lot into that part of the business where they're reliable. They buy on not only how will I say if it's trendy. They are looking at numbers, but they're also looking at the brand stories. How does it fit into their sustainable stories and the whole environment of outdoor? So our business, the last, now I say 3-4 years in the outdoor agriculture, horse business, it's just exploding. Yeah, workwear. That's another thing, and we don't have them here a lot, but that's a big business for us. Yeah, but it comes from the top tier. They build it up, they make it interesting, and then the other ones come. We have tried to penetrate these customers as well with a new brand, and it did not work. Wow. Consumers don't know the brand.
You yourself being an exhibitor at the CIFF, how often do you find yourself actually turning into a visitor when you go and browse through the different halls and end up liking a brand or two which you want to have onto your portfolio? Does it happen to you?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I all the time, because that's what we live with. That's the company DNA, that we are always looking for something new. But it has to have that DNA which fits our company. I get I would say daily, I have 4 or 5 brands reaching out also, or they've been at CIFF and they come and they see our booth and they're like, "Wow, we want to be here." But we are we're getting very picky about which brands we want to have into the company, and not every they have to have a, today more or less we don't sell products any longer. We sell stories. That's our company. We sell stories, and if the brand does not have the story, they can have a new story and they make up something. There are a lot of Italian brands who have a lot of stories, But we are looking at the heritage. How old is the brand? The authenticity about the brand. So the heritage is super important.
Heritage, story, and coolness are something which is really crucial in the whole industry now, not just only in retail, obviously, in the whole communication assets to it and the distribution channels. But do you see that other additional factors are equally as important as these?
Yes, there are a lot of other distributors who are doing other kind of brands, which fits their DNA, taking in maybe newer brands, upcoming brands, and I think that's just important because all these guys they need also help, and that's what's interesting in the fashion industry. Without these ones, we will die. Also, we will be very boring. So we need the newness, and I'm happy that there are other companies who are picking up these guys and helping them. They need that.
What would you, as someone who have been building up brands and turning brands into massive growth, advise to people who are now maybe in the startup phase and they're still defining their brand DNA? What should they focus on?
I get asked a lot from these new upcoming, especially from Denmark, of course, and I have my meeting and I'm always very honest. I think a big of the mistakes they do is a lot of them, they are making a full collection. And when they come at a trade show, you disappear among all the other ones. You're just a piece of apparel. So I always advise, be specialist in one product first. Make your trousers or make your shirts or make this one sneaker or whatever, and make sure that if you have 20 colors, you believe in that item. If you have 1 or 2 colors here, 1 or 2 colors there, it becomes very difficult. So I would say focus, be good at the one thing, and then you can slowly build up a category. My friend Chu at Colorful Standard, a good example. Focus on one category, then he add on every season. He adds on a new category. Build it up slowly. Don't think you can do everything. You are not. I've been in the industry for almost 35 years now. I'm still learning, and there's things I can't do. And making a full collection, you can't be good at making a jacket and a pant and a sweatshirt and a shoe and a sock. No way.
So starting up focused and then growing into more, exploring more categories definitely pays off.
Yeah. And also because you need to understand the way the production works, you need to minimize your production cost. When you make all of this, you're making end of the season, you're having some issues producing also.
So you're definitely losing the focus, which you said is so incremental when you build up a new brand and try to establish it as a mono product.
Yes.
How big is your company now?
We are around 30 people in our company, and we just closing our account here. So I think soon you will see some numbers, but it's a record year for us. Been the best year ever in these tough times. But I think it's because the focus is there. We have less brands, and then the team on I have to say my marketing and PR team, I have to. I'm impressed with them every single day. They are amazing. They make a lot of noise out there with the brand. So we are still growing.
That's incredible. Congratulations on this, on you and the incredible work of all of your team. You just mentioned that PR and marketing are definitely celebrating a higher focus than they possibly had in the previous years when you were starting in the industry. Do you believe that the drivers of consume and the drivers of coolness are now more towards actually segments as marketing, PR, creating a buzz around the product, than the actual essence of the product, than the actual surface of what the product stands for, or the heritage or the craftsmanship. How do you value this?
It's a very interesting question, because if you go back 10 years ago, when I got a brand, I started out selling the brand. And then when it came, we started doing the marketing around it. Today it's totally opposite. As soon as I sign off Kawasaki, for example, the first thing we go is to the PR and the marketing guys. We need the buzz around the brand. What can you do? They make a plan, they start buzzing it, and then our customers start calling us. And hey, guys, you got Kawasaki. Just through the social media, we can make that buzz. On my private Instagram, I'm more or less following as many customers as I can, because as soon as they see it, and that's also what we ask our sales staff and even all our staff, say, guys, you need to repost. That's a part of being in the industry together, because that's how we make the buzz. So I would say marketing today, it's more important. The sale comes second.
Go second.
I was looking at some of the brands today, and actually their PR marketing teams are bigger than the sales team.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Obviously, paying on to exactly what you just mentioned, how marketing is actually eating up the importance of sales.
Yes.
Still, when you would have to combine and explain in just a couple of sentences what you have managed to build over the last years, how would you explain it to someone who's entirely coming outside of the fashion industry?
Oh, that's
You see, that's
a tough one.
I really make it work today.
I think we are an engineering company. Just like engineers, there are new ways to build. There's new way to you always do better. Develop new windows, develop new designs, and I think as a company, that's also what we're aiming for. We are learning every single day. Even though Morten and myself have been in the company for 35 years, I think the young people coming into our company, they have taught us much more the last 5 years than we taught ourselves the past 30 years. And we have to listen to them, and we have to develop as a company. And that taking in the last 5 years, that's also why we've been deducting brands and focusing on brands, marketing, and so on, and build. And at the end of the day, our turnover is growing, our profit is growing, and I think that new generation, they are helping us.
I think this is a very beautiful way to explain how the fashion industry is developing, and that staying focused, being always in a great relationship with partners, with dealers, and everybody else in the community, and focusing your products on the one hand, authenticity, and on the other hand, making it big and creating a constant buzz around.
Yes.
Is very beneficial for everyone through the entire chain. What is the outlook for you, and where do you see the company in the next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, we are in the fashion business, and as a distributor, it's always very difficult to make a 5-10 year plan, because last time we did it was we used to do Birkenstock, and we lost that, so everything crashed. So we are also very scared of that. Luckily, we trust in our brand. We have some long contracts, and I think we will be huge partner for an important partner for big brands in Scandinavia. If everything goes well, we will have another big brand, which will, it will be a Vernon 3.0. It's going to be a new era for us if that happens, because then we are not only a distributor, but we will also be a retailer. So if you're gonna ask me the same question in 1 month, I will give you a totally different
Total different answer.
answer. Yeah,
But
yeah.
I love how you're closing the chain, basically from brand development, from storytelling up to distribution, up to being an own retailer. So having this 360-degree full service, very holistic approach is something I believe definitely pays off. And still, you're not losing the focus of all of your retail clients. How many do you believe do you have by now?
We have more than 2,000 doors in Scandinavia, and because there are so many chains in the sport, in the outdoor, there are customers with 180 doors we are dealing with. So we have more than 2,000. So the whole challenge will be to have the focus still on the brands, and then have, in the past with companies like ours, we want to do everything ourselves. That's how, when you're the owner and you're a partner, you want to have a hand in everything thing. I think what we have learned is, okay, if we do retail, we need a retail guy who is the expert. We need to listen to him. If we get a new brand, we have brand manager, we need to listen to him, and not always say, oh, we know better because we have so much experience. Time changes all the time, and we have to follow up.
It's incredible to see how you live that feedback culture and how you're very acceptive of the new streams which you get from, be it younger generations, be it brands from other countries, and so on and so forth. But coming back to your presence at the CIFF in January, you've been mentioning that keeping a focus has been a great learning for you over the last years. And you're now going to be bringing 5 brands to the CIFF in January. Which 5 brands are these, and why is it important for everyone to come and have a look at them?
Yeah, definitely going to bring Blundstone, Keen, Berghaus, GH Bass, and Kawasaki. That's actually the 5 brands we are bringing. The newness is, of course, Kawasaki, and definitely I want a lot of people to come and see what is it coming back again, because everybody remembers Kawasaki. It is an autumn-winter season we will be showing, but we can deliver immediately. So we will try to enter some of the best tier in spring-summer 26 already. Start the buzz.
As a see now, buy now, right away.
Right
This is
away.
incredible news.
Yeah.
So keeping up with the buzz right away.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We need that. We need the products in the stores in March, and we will pick 5 accounts around Denmark, especially to do a big impact. And then so I hope that these customers will come and they, I think a lot of our customers trust us. They know when we take in a brand like this, we need to be in the pipeline. So they will come, they will ask for it, and then we will say, guys, we are ready for you for spring summer 27 or how it is. But other than that, Blundstone and Keen is on fire, and I know there will be plenty of people
100%.
coming by and asking.
Definitely keeping my fingers crossed for that, but I know that you're going to over deliver just like every year.
Yes, hopefully.
One last question. Do you and your business partner Morten have a very personal story with Kawasaki? Do you remember a very special pair which you either used to own or someone else in your community had one and you always wanted to get your hands onto that pair?
No. Actually, it has been. It was a crazy story because the owner, Bo, who passed away, he when he bought the brand, he actually called us and said, that's back in the 2000s, and he said, listen, I bought this brand, but I don't have an investor. Could you guys be interested? And Morten asked me, and I said, Kawasaki, no way, not happening. And it became like, it was a huge one. So we missed out on that one. Personally, I always been, because from childhood, I've been a Converse guy. So I never had a pair of Kawasaki, but definitely this time I already have a pair now. So it's gonna be a different thing now.
I'm very excited to see how you're going to be selling your Kawasaki units at the CIFF in January.
Oh, yes.
Once again, thank you so much for finding time in your super busy schedule to stop by here at the CIFF office and have a conversation with me and share the excitement about you bringing on Kawasaki along other 4 incredible brands onto the CIFF floor in January. So excited to see you latest in January. And thanks so much again for joining me in today.
Thank you for inviting me. And we're looking forward to the CIFF in January.
Fab.
Yeah.
See you all in January.